how to shift from a low vibration to high vibration so you can attract more abundance, more meaningful relationships, and be in alignment with your soul's purpose. Let's dive in. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, my name is Christina and I help empower people on their spiritual and healing journey by helping them to identify limiting beliefs so they can have a more fulfilling and purposeful driven life. So in my last video, I spoke about what high vibration really means and kind of debunking some myths and all this spiritual bypassing we often see. So in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how you can shift to a higher vibration than being stuck in the low vibration without bypassing. And when I'm referring to bypassing, what I mean is ignoring all of the lower, heavier, denser emotions in this human experience and just wanting to be up here in the higher vibration emotions up here, which is love, peace, joy, positive thoughts. And so often people try to ignore their baggage in order just to be in a higher vibration, because they believe that if they're in a low vibe, they'll attract things to themselves that are low vibe, they won't be able to get out of it. That is a lot of the core belief, that if we're in those emotions, we won't get out, we feel stuck in it, especially if we go all in with the emotion and let it really just be there. So that's what it means to bypass. You all heard of that term of going through a bypass. Maybe in the monkey safari part, you go through the bypass so you don't go through all of that chaos. And that is the same. People don't want to experience the chaos, the suffering, the pain. So they try to think a better thought, try to just change their external circumstances to be in a high vibration, or try to create some lifestyle, but on their internal world, in their internal world, they are still holding on to shame, guilt, and have very limiting beliefs about themselves. So that means what happens is, no matter how much you think of a positive thought, like I am a millionaire, for example, that's quite a common one because people want a more abundance in their life. They think, I'm a millionaire, I'm going to think a positive thought, I'm going to think all of these like best case scenarios about myself. That is good to have a mindset like this. But when we have those internal beliefs hardwired into our nervous system, because it's not just the mind and the soul, and it's all of it, it's the holistic view, we are kind of lying to ourselves. And there are studies to show that you actually can't lie to yourself how you are feeling on the inside. And so what we have to do is go within and face these lower vibrational emotions, so then we can receive the love, the joy, the peace, to have a more abundance, more of attractive lifestyle, the things just flowing to you. And so then you can be in more of your soul's purpose, have a more fulfilling and purposeful driven life. So this means what we have to do is, we can't go over it, we can't go under it, we have to go through it. So this means we have to feel it to heal it. You may have heard of that term, which is feeling your suppressed emotions, feeling everything that you have been shutting away, maybe in the shadow. There's your inner child wounds, you're not speaking your truths because of a limiting belief that you're not worthy to be heard and seen. So what we are doing, we have to sit with those uncomfortable feelings, allow those feelings of all of that shame and that guilt to actually come through, and be witness to that. Because when we are in that part of us, we don't want to be in that part. Don't get me wrong, it's fucking awful. We don't want to be. We've all been there where it just feels like another wave of crash of life lessons coming at you and suffering and pain. So we do want to get to those, but we are hardwired, actually. We are wired in our biology to focus on the negative. So maybe you see a lot of negative things happening in your life, you're focusing on the negative. That's just because we are hardwired in our biology for survival to focus on something negative, because we want to survive. So if we see that danger thing, we're like, let's run away from it. But this is the path we have to go through to get to the higher vibrational emotions. So this means it's a process of letting go and working your way up this. And this can naturally occur when we are going through some difficult experience in our life, maybe a breakup or the spiritual awakening. We are usually in these lower vibrational emotions, and we naturally work our way through up, and then we become accepting of our past, accepting of our situation, and then we move our way through, kind of go through that process of getting over the person, and we feel more blissed out during the spiritual awakening. We're not stuck in the dark night of the soul. And so we naturally work our way through that. It is in our ability as a human to allow emotions to flow through us and out of us when we given the opportunity to actually feel that and be with that emotion. And in this human experience, we are meant to experience low vibe emotions. Like, not everybody in the world has a positive mindset, has a growth mindset. And it's totally natural because we're all different, we're all diverse human beings. But when we are in those lower vibrational emotions, it can feel really heavy. And so what I often do is, when I'm in lower vibrational emotions, what I do is I need to help my emotions express itself. Like I've said, it's about a process of letting go of all of these. So that means when we are feeling the emotion, we have to process that. And that means letting the emotion express itself. If we express our emotions, we may cry, we may express emotions through dance. Well, there's plenty of ways we can express our emotions. So this is how we navigate low vibrational emotions in order for us to shift to a higher vibrational state. So then we can attract more peace, love, joy, the relationships, because we're in alignment with those more high vibrational things. So this means what we have to do is allow the emotion to be there. And what I do is I journal. I like journaling because I feel it helps me get into the state of the emotion. It allows the emotion to really be there for me to be able to really feel it and express what the emotion wants to express. And I write and I journal on a topic of what's been playing on my mind. I use a journal prompt, and this means I'm able to get into the feeling of that, like I've said, and when I've expressed that, I feel lighter. The energy of that emotion has flowed through me, it's expressed, and now it's out of me. And this is what we must do in order to get in a high vibrational state. So this process of letting go and being with the emotion is really how you get into a high vibration, because when we let go of all that, it makes space for the more high vibrational frequency to come into our bodies. And so then we can attract more that's in resonance with our higher vibrational emotions. And that's how it really works, and why you cannot keep pretending and thinking a better thought, because unfortunately that's not how it works. And we all have our journey to go on. So if we are trying to think of a positive thought, that's not a bad thing. And because we don't want to be in our pain, in our suffering, that it eventually only gets us so far, because we end up going back to the old behavior patterns, going back to the same negative thoughts, and then ultimately back into the shame and the guilt, because we haven't felt the shame, we haven't felt the guilt, we haven't dealt with it in order for us to let go, so then we can be in a higher vibration. And that's where my shadow work one-to-one coaching sessions come in, because I help people to understand their shadow, help to understand their limiting belief. And if you want to apply to work with me, just click the link in the description below. And if you're liking this style of content with my board, teaching you, going through step by step, please do give it a thumbs up, or comment below if you would prefer this more style of videos. I remember when I was first going through my spiritual awakening, what accelerated my spiritual awakening and helped me to release shame, release guilt, and actually come to a place of neutrality was I went through a process of letting go and feeling my emotions, doing shadow work. And shadow work, it was a fundamental part of my spiritual awakening journey. And the more shadow work I did, the more I became at peace, the more I showed my inner child some love, the more I became into neutrality and actually be in a blissed out state. I was more happy, I was more fulfilled, I felt more at peace with my past. And if you want to know my exact inner child healing technique, check out this video here, where I go through my experience and what I did to actually experience a mystical experience with my inner child. So check that out now. But if you want to move into a high vibration, we have to release, let go of the stories, the pain, the thoughts, all of that stuff that keeps us attached to the lower vibrational emotions. So we have to feel it, we have to become acceptance of it, and so then we naturally work our way up. It's like releasing the resistance that's holding you back from actually moving upwards. It's holding you down like a ball and chain, for example. You can't move fast, you can't walk because you've got this emotional baggage, but you're in your mind, in your logical mind, you're trying to think of a better thought, pretending you're in 3D, but you cannot lie to yourself. You're lying to your soul, you're lying to your nervous system, and the nervous system remembers, the body remembers your pain, your trauma, and it can hold on to those emotions. So it's about taking the mind, body, spirit approach to healing and this process of letting go. And if you want to know some high vibrational habits as well, check out this video next, where I dive into habits that actually have helped me stay in a really high vibration. Much love.